Alright, so the first thing you want to do is you want to go to your Google Drive and you want to open up a Google form. Now, because we want to give the students instant feedback, we want to change our settings and instantly make it into a quiz. So you're going to go to your settings and quizzes and you're going to hit make it a quiz. You can play with all your settings down below, or you can just hit save. Now the first thing we're going to do is we always want to name our tests or our quizzes. So this is going to be a science quiz on ecosystems. Now my first question is always going to be name, and I'm going to change it to a short answer, and I'm going to make it required. Now I'm not going to do anything for the answer key because I'm not going to give them points for their name. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create sections. So if I had one question, I would have one section for the question, another section to revisit the question in case they missed it, and then I could add another question underneath, and then these are the different sections that the student will see one at a time. So each section I'm going to give it a title of question number 1. And now in question number 1, I want to add an image. So I'm going to go over to image, and then I'm going to pull my image folder. I can take a snapshot, I can find it in an album, or I can upload it. In this instance, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to upload it from my pictures because I already have the picture that I want to use. And once I've uploaded it there, my image will show up and I can give it a title, or I can add a question, which is what I'm going to do. Now when I add questions, I like to copy and paste from tests that I already have. So I'm going to just copy the question from the test, and I'm going to place it back in my Google Doc by Control V or right click and paste. And again, I'm going to go back into my quiz that I've already done, and I'm going to add the answers. I'm going to right click and copy, and I'm going to go back to my Google quiz, and I'm going to go to option 1. I'm going to right click and paste or Control V. Now if I have the answer, I'm going to put it in the answer key, and I'm going to actually click on answer key, and I can give it however many points I want. I can do it 1, 5, 20, and then I'm going to find the correct answer. The one that's correct, I'll mark it with a check, and then the next thing I want to do is I want to edit the question. I want it to be required. Then if they got it wrong, I'm going to make my section question 1 revisited. Now I can link every one of these questions to either the question 1 revisited, or I can move them on to question 2. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pretend that they got this one right on nucleus. So I hit the 3 little dots, and then I'm going to click go to section based on answer. Now if they got it right, I want to change it to go to section 4, which is question number 2. They're going to go on. If they got it wrong, I'm going to have them go on to the next section, which is question 1 revisited. This way I can provide them with some information if they got anything incorrect, and then I might want to give them another try. So maybe I have a video, and I can simply go to my video, maybe on YouTube, and I can copy it, and then I can take that video and go back to my form, and I can paste it in. Watch this video and do the question below. And once I paste it in, it's going to be there, and then I can add the question again. Now maybe I want to add the question, what is the function of the nucleus? Now, because they missed it the first time, maybe this time I want them to give me a short answer and just type the correct answer. I'm not going to give this answer key any points, but I am going to put on here that if they get it right, that I'm going to give them feedback. So, good job. And I'm going to hit save. And that way, once they type the answer, they'll see that feedback. Now I go into the next question, question 2, and I can go in to add a question. I can go back into my actual assessment, and again I can copy and paste, and I can add that in to my question. And then I go back into my answers. Again, I'm going to copy and paste them. And this one, I'm going to give it a point. And then I see that 2 of these popped up that weren't correct, so I can edit them and I can get rid of them by hitting the X. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to require this one. And then I'm going to put my answer key in. So if my answer was cytoplasm, that would be correct. And then I can edit my question, and I can add another section afterwards and title it question 2 revisited. And then I can add a question 3 if I want to add another one, or I can add another section and I could put great job, you're done with this test, and then they could have to go there. All they'd have to do is once I add the section, I could say question 2 revisited, and then I can give them information here about different parts of the cell. The information you gave was not correct. Which part of the cell is like jelly? And I can add the question again if I want, and then I can go back to my question and I can put it on to a section based on the answer. If they got it right, then they're good. If they got it wrong, I want them to go to section 5, which is question 2 revisited. And then if this was the end of my test, then when they got it right here, I can just click submit form, and then I have my form. And if I want to, I can just send it, and I can put the email, I can link it because it's not an assignment, and I can put it as an announcement in my Google Classroom. If I want to look at it, it looks like this. First name is always my first question. Then they have different sections. If they get it right here, then I've sent them on to watch a video and to type in an answer. And then they have to go to next and then get the next question. And if they got this one wrong, they're going to revisit it, and then they're going to turn in their test.